So look at the young Diamondback starter, Archie Bradley.
Just 22 years old, 6'4", 230, out of Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, where he was a blue chip high school football and baseball player. Was going to go to the University of Oklahoma and play quarterback before the Diamondbacks drafted him in the first round in 2011. Now these numbers pretty much represent what a great start he got off to. 2-0, a 180. Then he got hit in the face with that line drive from Carlos Gonzalez of the Colorado Rockies. So he's come back from the DL, and his numbers obviously are not quite as good. So we'll see if it's just a work in progress to get back some confidence he may have lost from that line drive.
And in those 4 starts, he faced Bumgarner, Kershaw, and Giovanni Gallardo of the Texas Rangers. They have a very good defensive ball club. The Diamondbacks have committed just 21 errors this year, and Ciarte, Pollock, and Trumbo in the outfield. Hill, Ahmed, Owings, and Paul Goldschmidt at first, and our old pal Jared Saltalamacchia, who was signed as a minor league free agent May 8th, is in harness behind the plate. Roof is open. It was 107 degrees today in Phoenix. It's cooling off quickly.
It is.
Well,
thanks.
Compared to 107.
That'll make me feel better.
There you go. And with the roof panels open and the roof open, this place is an airport. And Archie Bradley's first pitch is a called strike. Fielding Culberth has the plate, and we're underway in Phoenix.
He's got a good fastball and uses it a lot. 91 to 95. Curveball and a change, but you're going to see mostly fastballs tonight from this guy.
And that one's fouled away by Peterson as the Diamondbacks have a first inning shift on for him. Official game time temperature 99 degrees.
It is. It's almost icy in here.
At least the reaction was when I mentioned the temperature. 0-2 as Bradley missed outside. Now 1 ball, 2 strikes. Boy, Peterson with that huge hit in San Francisco, and a chance for Goldschmidt. He bobbles it. Bradley got to the bag in time, and there's out number 1. If the Diamondbacks look a little wobbly here in the early moments of the ball game, you can understand why. They had a 17-inning game on getaway day against Milwaukee yesterday.
A good thing for them, they only had to use 4 pitchers. They had one guy work 5 1/3 innings. He gave up the walk-off homer to Maldonado, but he worked 5+ innings in relief and saved their bullpen a little bit. Chip Hale, their new manager this year.
And he's got the D-backs playing pretty good ball. They're 23 and 26 on the year, despite being devastated by injuries. Pitch to Simmons is a strike. He moves to the 2-hole because he's been a hot hitter. A 9-game hitting streak for the Brave shortstop. And a breaking ball missed. It's an even count. Archie Bradley burst on the scene for the Diamondbacks in 2012 at South Bend. He went 12-6, then went 12-5 at Mobile in 2013. This ball's grounded to the right side and through a very fast infield, and Owings couldn't catch up to it. And Simmons, with a 10-game hitting streak, has a 1-out hit.
He is hot. He's the hottest hitter in the lineup overall. And another good sign for him. Looked like a spiked curveball that didn't break much. And this infield is hard and fast, and Owings couldn't get it. And another shift.
Freddie Freeman with 7 homers, 26 knocked in. A lifetime 400 hitter in this park. And Saltalamacchia with a nice stop. 1 ball, no strikes. We were joking with Freddie after the ball game last night when we got to Phoenix. Said, hey, hope you enjoyed your day off. All of about 6 innings for the Braves first baseman. So his consecutive games played streak lives on here in game 1. Ball 2.
You know what the good thing about it was, though? He got to come to the park late. He was on the late bus to the park, so he was able to sleep in a little bit, not go through all the routine of batting practice and everything. So it was a real leisurely day for him. I'm sure it benefited him a lot.
Sharply hit. Oh, what a pick by Goldschmidt. Second base 1, first base 2. What a double play turned in by the Diamondbacks first baseman, who's more than just a slugger. That was an excellent effort, and the Braves are done at the top of the first. And 26 on the year, have scored 233 runs. That's most in the National League. The big bats in the middle of the order: Goldschmidt and Trumbo. Goldschmidt having a marvelous year, 15 homers, 43 RBIs. Trumbo's got 9 homers. That's second among men in their lineup. And who better to tangle with them than Alex Wood, is on a great roll in rotation for the Braves.
He sure is. 24 years old, 6'4", 215, second round pick in 2012. Road starts, he's been awesome. 2.37 ERA, 2.86 average, and a perfect 3-0 mark. Last start was a win on the road at Los Angeles. The last game of that series, 7 innings, gave up only 1 run, walked 2, struck out 6.
Ender Inciarte is the Arizona leadoff man, and he takes ball 1 outside. Inciarte finished 5th in the Rookie of the Year balloting last year for the Diamondbacks. He had 278, popped 4 homers, knocked in 27, scored 54 runs in 118 games. And that one's rolled foul at first.
Time for the Ford Keys pitching success tonight for Alex Wood. Number 1, no big surprise here. Goldie. What a year he's having. Got a pitch around to him. 3 for 4 with 4 walks yesterday. It's pretty much assumed that Alex is going to have to work out the stretch some tonight.
Tricky hop for Uribe, who stayed with it and threw a bullet to first. He knew who was running.
Yep.
Good play by Juan.
But the way these guys are swinging the bat, as many hits as they're racking up, he's going to have to work out of the stretch, and he's going to have to make some good pitches out of the stretch tonight.
I read something the other day. Mike Matheny had an interesting idea for his pitching staff, and that goes right to your point. In critical game situations, pitcher's going to pitch out of the stretch. His runners are on base. As A.J. Pollock hits the first pitch into center field for the first Arizona hit, he wears out left-handed pitching to the tune of a 390 average. And he's aboard from Goldschmidt. Why don't more pitchers just work exclusively out of the stretch?
I don't know. Most guys that you talk to and you ask say, I don't feel like I lose any velocity or anything by working out of the stretch. And I remember Maddox, when he was warming up for a start, I'll say 75 to 80% of his pitches out in the bullpen were out of the stretch, because he knew that's when he was going to have to make the good ones.
That seems to make sense. Just thought it was an interesting thing I ran across a couple of weeks ago. Hopefully Alex won't be in the stretch much tonight, but he is here in the first. And Goldschmidt is up. Huge day for Goldschmidt yesterday. He was on base 7 times in that 17-inning game with Milwaukee, and he made history. He was first major league hitter to have 3 hits and 3 intentional walks. in a game, in the history of the game. You understand with the ridiculously good numbers he's putting up.
You've got to play a lot of innings for that to happen.
No balls and a strike for Goldschmidt. Much was made of Arizona's bad year last year, and they did have a bad season. One reason why this guy got hurt. Goldschmidt got hit by a pitch. Arizona's season pretty much was disabled too. Played 109 games and hit 19 homers. He was a starting first baseman for the National League in the All-Star game. But fractured his left hand on August 1st against the Pirates, and that happened in a pinch hit appearance for the Diamondbacks.
I think there was a lot of nonsense that followed too, between the Pirates and the Diamondbacks hitting players. You told me a note the other day about Goldschmidt, though, about how there was some huge percentage of his homers were from pitches inside.
Yeah, ESPN had a stat on Goldschmidt. Last 2 years, 33 homers. Only one of those pitches that he hit out was over the outer third of the plate.
And so far, he's keeping the ball away from him.
Which we talk all the time. Sluggers like to get their arms extended. You'd think that would be the danger zone against Goldschmidt. Apparently it's not.
Well, he wraps the bat, for lack of a better term. He kind of points it straight down over his shoulder. But then as the pitch is about to be delivered, he straightens it down where his hands are kind of close to him.
Runner goes. Goldschmidt swings and misses, and Pollock is in safely with a stolen base. Wood takes care of the Arizona first baseman with a strikeout. Runner at second, 2 outs for Mark Trumbo.
Good breaking ball. Threw him a couple of good breaking balls. 13th stolen base for Pollock.
So here's Trumbo. 3 of his 9 homers came on the just completed road trip for Arizona. He's knocked in 23 men and is batting .273 for the year. In the air down the right field line. That's slicing toward the corner and out of play.
From the power alleys to the foul lines, this is a very fair, if not bandbox type ballpark. Ball jumps here. It's only 376 to the straightaway left and right field. Down the line, down the lines, it's fair. To straightaway center, it's a mile. But again, the ball jumps.
Arizona's expecting big things from Mark Trumbo, who led the Angels in home runs 3 consecutive seasons, 2011, 12, and 13. Last year he managed 14 homers, but he was hurt. He had a broken foot. That just goes to the root of the problem for the Diamondbacks the last couple of years. Goldschmidt hurt, Trumbo hurt, Patrick Corbin hurt, Bronson Arroyo hurt. They lost Gerald Laird, the real G Money, behind the plate. And Tuffy Gosowicz, who was their starting catcher, he might have a torn up knee. That's why they went out and got Saltalamacchia. The pitch popped up and into the seats, foul.
Yeah, that's a really tough loss for Gosowicz, because a guy who spent so much time in the minor leagues, was a backup last year. He was the everyday catcher this year and doing a phenomenal job, according to former big league catcher, now analyst for the Diamondbacks, Bob Brenly. He said Gosowicz may be the biggest loss of all to this point.
So Alex way ahead of Trumbo with 2 outs. And the 0-2 pitch is bounced foul at third. Trumbo's 29. Big man, 6'4", 225 pounds. Pollock at second. And now try again. Let's see if that sets up the outside corner now. A ball and 2 strikes. Tried the outer edge and missed low and away. Even count.
Good try. Alex has faced them before. This is the 5th time he's faced the Diamondbacks, but only one other start. 0-1 with a 2 ERA, total of 9 innings, 2 runs, 4 walks, 5 strikeouts.
Breaking ball is hit towards short and caught on the fly by Anderson Simmons. Trumbo lines out, and the Diamondbacks are done after a scoreless first.
Right stuff, low price every day.
Chase Field in Phoenix, the home of the Arizona Diamondbacks. Alex Woods threw his first inning of play with a hit and a strikeout allowed. And now in the Braves second, Nick Markakis, Juan Uribe, and A.J. Pierzynski will face Archie Bradley.
Bradley's last start was at St. Louis. Did not get out of the 4th inning. 5 hits, 3 walks, 6 runs. And one of the hits was a homer.
I think it's fair to say Bradley pitched so well this spring that he really forced his way into rotation for the Diamondbacks. And that's what made Trevor Cahill expendable. Trevor's in the Braves bullpen. As Markakis looks outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Right back where it came from on the ground, and Bradley skipped the rope as Markakis leads off the second with a clean single.
I'm sure every ball that comes back at Bradley these days, you know, frightens him. It's got to. It's got to cause him to react in a real quick twitching way. It would me. If they're getting smoked in the face of the line drive.
Juan Uribe is the batter. And he shoots one to the screen. Out of play. This is hard to watch, but it's important to talk about. April 28th. And Bradley sent a picture of himself out on Twitter for his friends and family so they could know that he was all right. You see, he was able to walk off the field on his own. There's the 0-1 pitch to Uribe. And no swing. Even count. Can't imagine the courage you've got to have to go back out there and face major league hitters again.
He did not go on a rehab assignment to the minor leagues. I'm told he just pitched in a couple of simulated games, but without a protective screen before they activated him.
1 ball, 1 strike. Bouncing ball to short. Ahmed will flip to second for 1, and a double play. Clears the bases for A.J. Przinsky. He's hit 2 double plays in as many innings.
Diamondbacks are very pleased with Nick Ahmed and his defense at shortstop. Grew up in the Braves organization, was involved in the Justin Upton deal. And after a real slow start with the bat, he's begun to come around offensively too.
And Nick won the minor league Gold Glove Award at shortstop in 2013. So A.J. Przinsky will be the batter. A.J. broke out of an 0 for 17 slide with a blue pit in San Francisco yesterday. Man, was he fired up when he scored standing up. What did he?
He said he got ambushed. He said, I got ambushed. Somebody said, what are you talking about? He said, I was down in the bullpen warming up pitchers. Somebody said, you're up.
2 quick strikes to him. And out of play foul. We were all extremely excited about that win for obvious reasons. You have a chance to split a series with the defending world champions in their ballpark with their ace pitching against their closer in the 9th inning. To get back to 500.
Pretty special.
It was special. And the way they did it. I mean, just look, every team, as we said yesterday, has warts, has flaws. But there is no mistaking the heart and hustle of this particular team. It's a fun team to watch. As Przinsky took a little low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And we couldn't wait to get the ball to the ballpark tonight, so the Braves can make it 2 in a row. And a looper just out of reach of Ahmed, who jumped behind the second base bag and couldn't come up with it. So Przinsky's got 2 hits in his last 2 at bats. And that one a 2-out single here in the 2nd inning.
Just enough to get it over Ahmed. What was it your dad used to say?
Hadn't played too low.
Needed to shoot at 20 feet. And he only shot at 19.
Yes.
Nick Ahmed 6'2", needed to be 6'3".
Something like that. Yeah. He said a lot of stuff. You'd shake your head and say, huh, what? What'd you say? Strike to Johnny. 0-1 the count. Johnny's been a busy man on the road trip. Tonight he gets his 5th start. And that's taken downstairs. Even count.
Every team in baseball ought to have a Johnny Gomes on it.
Sharply hit and down the left field line. That's a fair ball off the glove of Aaron Hill.
Watch A.J. go again.
A.J. Przinsky's on his way to third. Gomes with a rocket double down the left field line, and the Braves are in business with 2 outs.
I say that about Johnny Gomes for a lot of reasons. A, he's a good player. Tough out. Plays the game the right way. But because he insists on everyone around him to play the game the right way and to come to the park ready to try and win as he hammers that breaking ball. And other teams do. I mean, certainly by different names, but they've got good, solid guys who stir it up all the time in the clubhouse, keep everybody ready to go. But I don't know if anybody else has got anybody like John.
Arizona will walk Todd Cunningham and go after Alex Wood with 2 outs.
Hey, Alex is swinging it. This is no gimme for Bradley. Alex is 3 for 14 with an RBI.
One more out of the zone. Cunningham will trot to first base. And here comes Alex. Bradley's due to throw a wild pitch. You know, he hasn't thrown one yet.
You're going to use that already? Okay, let's break it out.
Why not? But I'm with you on Johnny Gomes. We talk all the time about players being throwback players. What baseball was like in the 50s and 60s, but I'll bet he would have fit right in with guys who played in that era, if not earlier, in the bigs. So Bradley has him full. He's got the Braves pitcher Alex Wood up. Sharply hit, base hit up the middle. AJ scores. Here comes Gomes around third. The throw will come to third. It'll be off target. Nobody backs up third. And Alex Wood will trot into second base on a bad throw. It's 2-0 Atlanta.
Like I said, he ain't a gimme. First pitch, fastball, belt high. And look at Bradley's reaction. I'm kind of really enjoying these pitcher and catcher reactions when the Braves clip him. Pollock was going to throw home. Then he saw Cunningham going to third, so he double clutched. And then when he threw it to third, he didn't have a very good grip on the baseball and was lucky it didn't go in the dugout.
He did the old Paul Bird thing. He took his thumb off the baseball on that throw. And that's a rare error for Arizona. The second by Pollock. That chases Alex Wood to second base. And the top of the order is coming up now. 2-0 Atlanta on Alex Woods. Base hit to center field. Mike Harkey, the pitching coach, out for a quick chat. Now Jace trying to extend the lead. 5 hits already for the Braves. And downstairs.
All this starting with 2 out, nobody on, and the little skipper off the glove of Ahmed by AJ.
Of all the Braves players, you could say Jace Peterson's perhaps been the most clutch. With the bases loaded this year, Peterson's 5 for 8. With runners in scoring position and 2 out, he's 6 for 15.
Wow, like that.
Popped away from Saltalamacchia, but called a strike. Last 17 games, Jace Peterson's knocked in 19 runs with 10 hits. Downstairs, JSR Georgia Lottery hitting the jackpot feature.
Double, 2 triples. Drove in those 3 runs yesterday in his last 4 starts, and a chance to drive in a couple more here unless they elect to pitch to Simmons and don't give Jace anything to hit.
Liner down the left field line. That's headed for the stands. Foul. It's a full count.
You know, you only face a team 6 or 7 times a year, like the Braves and teams outside their division, in this case Arizona. Well, it's kind of hard to get a read on players, hard to get good scouting reports. But the benefit for the Diamondbacks, and especially for Bradley, he's got a catcher back there who saw the Braves at least 6, if not 9 times already this year.
And ball 4, they didn't give Peterson much to hit. That's an intentional walk. And again, they're loaded for Andrelton Simmons, who's already got a hit tonight and is one of the Braves' hottest hitters. 2 runs, 2 walks in the inning. And here's Andrelton. He's 2 for 6 this year with the bases loaded. Swing and a miss, strike 1.
He'd thrown a lot of first pitch fastballs and then changed it up there with a breaking ball, and Andrelton still swung at it.
Long inning for the young Diamondbacks right-hander. And it's even now, ball and a strike. Up the middle, that's a base hit. Cunningham will score. Wood will be stopped at third base, and it's a 3-0 game. Boy, the Braves are getting the right guys up at the right time tonight. Already 6 hits and 3 runs. And Bradley's given up 17 earned runs in his last 11 and a third innings.
21st RBI for Andrelton, and he would have had number 22 if anybody else is running at second base instead of Alex Wood. Bo Porter wisely held him at third base. Didn't want to run the risk of the starting pitcher running into a collision at home, but anybody else gets waved home and probably scores.
And here's Freddie Freeman with the bases loaded. Here's an interesting number. Freeman's batted third, fourth a lot this year. This is only his third at bat with the bases loaded this year.
And they're shifting on him anyway. He's still got that huge hole on the left side with the bases loaded. It's almost like, and Freddie, I've watched him in batting practice. He's a pretty good bunter. He could bunt this run in easily. And it's almost like the Diamondbacks, even already down 3-0, are saying, yeah, we'll let you drive in 1. We just don't want you to drive in 2 or more. Well, right now, Braves would take 1.
.31 pitches for Archie Bradley in the inning. Pitch taken low. Now Freddie can be real selective.
Well, the mistakes he's made have been belt high, and he's got to throw a strike or force in a run.
Bouncing ball right at Goldschmidt. Freddie pulled it, and his first base counterpart steps on the bag to end the inning. 9 Braves come to the plate. 3 of them score. We go to the home second. It's Atlanta 3, Arizona nothing. Alex Wood, big night at the plate already. Game Wednesday, June 10th. It's free post-game concert presented by Coca-Cola and Delta Airlines. VIP field and backstage passes are now available. Get your tickets now at Braves.com/concerts. Alex Wood helped himself with a 2-run hit. We'll have the 5, 6, 7 hitters coming up for the Diamondbacks. 2 more games left in this series in the desert. Then the Braves finally get to come home. We wrap up our third 3-city 10-game road trip in the first 6 weeks of the season. First 8 weeks of the season, I should say, here on Wednesday afternoon. And we're home for a week. This is Aaron Hill. He's played second. He's played third. He's at third tonight. And he takes a called strike. Hill's got some power. Third most homers in the major leagues as a second baseman the last 6 years. Only Robbie Cano and Dan Uggla have hit more than Aaron Hill.
Good shutdown inning by Alex would be a big boost.
In the air towards center, Todd Cunningham is there and makes the catch. Ball didn't jump off the bat at all. Hill's retired, one down. And here's Salty. Jared's 1 for 8 with Arizona. He's 3 for 37 overall at the plate. Popped up into shallow right. Markakis has that. Quickly, there are 2 outs.
Yeah, to say this has been a struggle for Saltalamacchia would be an understatement. He's getting another opportunity here after Gosewicz got hurt.
Chris Owings hit .261 for the Diamondbacks last year. 26 RBIs, 34 runs in 91 games. He too was an injured player. Missed 2 months with a bad shoulder. He had to have surgery on the left labrum October 2nd. That was performed by Dr. Andrews down in Florida.
Chris is from Braves country. He's from South Carolina.
That ball's hammered to right. Markakis has it, and it's an easy inning for Alex Wood. 3 flyouts and a shutdown inning, and we head to the third, up 3-0. With the Diamondbacks. It's time for our AT&T Universe trivia question. Since the start of 2013, Paul Goldschmidt is second among current National League players with 217 runs scored. Who's first in runs?
It's a good question. You always think of leadoff guys,
right,
leading the league in runs scored, but not always.
You always have the fallback of Matt Holliday. He's on base every day.
Mark Burley.
Yeah, there's Mark Burley. As Nick Markakis goes to work and takes outside, even count. Andrew McCutchen.
That's a good call. High average.
Especially with the fracas you were talking about with Goldschmidt. I think McCutchen was the man in the middle of that last year.
Yes, he was.
Pittsburgh Pirates. So Maybe Andrew McCutcheon's the answer. 1 ball, 2 strikes for Nick. And a bouncing ball to first. Goldschmidt's got it. And the throw to first, perfect.
As you've seen already, Goldschmidt's not some lumbering big oaf at first base. This guy can pick it at first base. Good hands, has not made an error so far this year. And made a real good play, turning that double play in the first inning off the hot shot from Freeman.
Juan Uribe hits with 1 out. He bounced into a double play his first time up. Downstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. Juan Uribe generates some bat speed, doesn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, and that front side really clears out. He almost spins around.
Long homer yesterday in San Francisco. The Braves gave the Braves a 3-2 lead. Also hit a homer in the 9th inning of Game 3 against the Giants. As part of the Braves' 8-0 win. So Juan 5 for 17 since putting on a Braves uniform. 2 homers, 4 RBIs. Ripped foul. Whoa. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah. And his first hit yesterday was a line shot to right. He was a little late on it, but barreled it up to right field.
Sprayed that into the upper deck foul. Do it again. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Freddie Gonzalez and the Braves, a remarkable first 50 games. 25 wins, 25 losses. Atlanta just 3 games out of first. As Uribe got hit by that pitch. And he'll get up very slowly and gingerly. Might need some attention from athletic trainer Jeff Porter.
They get him in the knee. Either the knee or on the high on the calf. He is a very strong individual.
That's only the second man Bradley has hit. Uribe all smiles for the moment. Either that or that's his grimace. Hard to tell. He's always smiling.
Right.
Here's AJ. He singled and scored back in the 2nd inning. Alex Wood brought him home. And this one a mile-high pop. Shallow center. Ahmed drifts out. And the shortstop makes the play for the 2nd out of the inning. Nationals were hopeful of playing an interleague game tonight with the Toronto Blue Jays. They were rained out at Nationals Park. So if Atlanta can win this game, they picked up a half game in the Eastern race.
Boston got rained out today too. I think there's a big line of weather that went through the upper Atlantic coast today.
Johnny Gomes bats. And he takes a strike. They're a couple of weeks away from what they call monsoon season here in the desert. All that hard baked soil, the rain just doesn't soak up, and you get torrential downpours and waters everywhere here in Phoenix. Pop up out of play. And Johnny is behind 0-2. We just were on this road trip. They're praying for any kind of precipitation they can get. is a big concern. The desert Southwest and Southern California too. Here comes the 0-2 pitch for Johnny Gomes. Missed. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Pretty good pitch there. It wasn't a strike, but a good pitch. Pitcher's pitch ahead in the count. Gomes patiently laid off.
He's getting some good cuts at this young man.
His fastball's not moving much, Chip. Looks pretty straight.
Just 22 years old and learning on the job in a tough place to pitch. Braves have tagged him for 3 runs on 6 hits, and we're not done with the 3rd inning yet. Another deep count. And he's already walked 2. He's also hit a batter.
See how Uribe can run as he takes off on this pitch. See how he's moving.
Popped up. A.J. Pollock in center will gather it in, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, a hit batter, and a man left. Bottom of the 3rd, still 3-0 Braves lead it. Triple play for Juan Uribe, but not the kind you think. Look at this.
1, 2, 3. Like a pinball off of him. Off the leg, then the back of the arm, and then back to the thigh.
Jeff Porter needed overtime just to try to figure out what hurt more. For Juan, who stays in the game. As Alex Wood readies himself for the bottom of the 3rd inning. Nick Ahmed is the batter. As Joe said, he's become a hot hitter for Arizona after a very slow start at the plate. .351 average for Ahmed after the last 17 games. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Ahmed got 70 at bats last year, hit 200. Martin Prado, Randall Delgado, Zeke Spruill.
Chase Peterson backs up, makes an easy play. That takes care of Ahmed for out number one.
Ahmed and Brandon Drury for Justin Upton and Chris Johnson.
So here's Bradley. He's 2 for 13. 6 strikeouts, no sacrifices. Where's Broken Arrow, Oklahoma?
Near Tulsa.
Okay. Now it says he's born in Muskogee.
Muskogee. Yeah, it's it's close, relatively close. Broken Arrow and Jinx, Oklahoma, have become large cities in their own right, but suburbs of Tulsa, and outstanding sports programs.
As he struck out looking, that's out number 2. I mean, you know all about Oklahoma's baseball program and Oklahoma's football program. This kid had a chance to do both things for the Sooners. Instead, signed a pro contract.
Well, if you're a blue chip recruit and the player of the year in the state of Oklahoma, you know, the quarterback of the state championship team in the largest class of high schools, and OU signs you to a letter of intent to play quarterback, then you must be pretty salty.
2 quick outs for Alex Wood. Remember, about 4 starts ago, he was talking about some mechanical issues that he was trying to straighten out. Looks like he's got those figured out. He's been pitching great ball. Alex with 3 consecutive quality starts, unbeaten on the road. Coming off a 92-pitch, 7-inning gem against the Dodgers.
You know what the funny part is? He could tell us what those mechanical issues were, and we wouldn't be able to see them.
You're right.
We wouldn't know.
Little roller out towards second. Peterson to his left, and Wood is breezing along through 3. He's due up second. He's got a 3-0 lead in game 1 with the Saints.
AT&T UVerse, Delta Airlines, and your local Ford dealer.
Don't want to disturb the players. It's very quiet compared to San Francisco and LA. Right. It's like a library in here. Todd Cunningham leads things off.
People know that if they move, they'll sweat.
No balls and a strike. Cunningham was intentionally walked back in the 2nd inning. And that's up and away. Now Gary Thorne, great broadcaster, of the Baltimore Orioles during that crowdless game at Camden Yards with the White Sox. I believe did an entire inning like he was doing the Masters. Start getting in. Adjusts his grip. Stands in. 2 balls and a strike, and right off his knuckles out to third, and Aaron Hill grabbed that. And there's out number 1.
That hurt. Probably won't hurt near as bad as the grief he's going to get in the dugout, but that hurt.
So Alex Wood bats a 2-run scoring hit back in inning number 2. 2 balls, no strikes. It's a part of the game that I think Alex has really improved upon this year. Wood now has 4 hits, 3 RBIs.
Remember one of the keys the other day for Williams Perez, help yourself, meaning get a bunt down, get yourself a hit, something that helps you.
Sure.
And that certainly came to pass tonight for Alex with his base hit after they pitched around Cunningham by walking him intentionally.
Second baseman, Jason Peterson.
Wood struck out looking for the second out of the inning. We go back to the top. And Jace Peterson. Braves did make a roster move technically yesterday, but announced today. Cody Martin brought up from Gwinnett. Donnie Veal designated for assignment. Cody is here and eligible to pitch if needed out of the Braves bullpen. Did good work with the AAA Gwinnett Braves. A win, a loss, and a save, an ERA under 1. 2 balls, no strikes. Shift on for Jace Peterson. Archie Bradley about to make his 75th pitch. And it's grounded into that shift. A long throw from the outfield grass turns Archie Bradley a clean 1-2-3 4th inning. Pollock, Goldschmidt, Trumbo coming up. 3-0 Braves. With a win tonight, and they certainly turned things around in the month of May. That's our Zaxby's indescribably good play.
And a lot of it had to do with their work on this road trip. And I know they're 3-4 on the trip, so that's a losing record. You say, what's so special about that? Well, with the pitchers they faced, it could have been real ugly at this point, and they played great to salvage those last 2 games in San Francisco and make it 3-4.
So that month of May for Atlanta, the first winning month for the Braves club since last June.
That's hard to believe.
A couple of 500 months and then a real bad September. As a broken bat fly ball off the bat of A.J. Pollock will be gathered in at left. Johnny Gomes has it. And Alex Wood has out number 1.
And he gets to face Goldschmidt with nobody on base. Now, the bottom line of that May graphic we just showed, and it pretty much is the bottom line right now with the Atlanta Braves, is the bullpen.
Yeah.
And the ERA in the bullpen for the month of May was nothing to write home about. But I think it's getting better, and there's some guys that are on the horizon that have been on the suspended list and what have you that will be great additions to the pen once they come back. But some things are beginning to settle in the bullpen in terms of roles, and that will go a long way.
And a lot of that has to do with how good the starting pitching has been on the road trip. Look at what Miller has done, Wood, et cetera, et cetera. Foltynewicz. These guys have taken the ball deep, which has taken pressure off some of those guys who've been in the 5th and 6th innings a bit too frequently. 2 to Goldschmidt, base is empty. 9 straight retired by Alex Wood, and Goldschmidt backs out of the box. .354 average coming in for Goldschmidt, second in the league.
When we go to new cities to play teams, it's common practice for us to talk to other broadcasters.
Lance hammer down the right field line. Markakis will not have a play.
How's your team doing? We're doing this. How's your team doing? And you and I, typically, I mean, not always together, we pretty much say the same thing, and that is, this is a fun team to watch. This Atlanta team is fun to watch. We like the way these guys play. As Freddie Gonzalez said last night, we may have some shortcomings in some areas, but we don't quit. These guys always battle. They pulled it out yesterday in the 9th inning. This is a good team to watch. Starting pitching's been very good since the month of May, with one exception. Got to get Julio Teheran figured out.
Right.
Get him straightened out. And the defense has been good. So the offense has been, it gets hits. They've gotten good hits with runners in scoring position. They've capitalized on opportunities.
Line drive by Goldschmidt to right field. That'll put Alex in the stretch for the first time since the first inning. I think it's funny.
But then we get to that last part and we say, but. And boy, is it a big but. Got to go down there, you know.
Why are you looking at me?
Oh, I know. I was just.
Actually, I know why, but go ahead.
They gotta straighten out some things in the bullpen.
Yeah.
They've got to pitch better.
They do. But when you get a McKirahan back sometime in July, there are going to be some in-house options for the Braves.
And there are some guys pitching lights out in Gwinnett right now too. Whistler.
Banuelos.
Whistler was just named the International League Pitcher of the Week.
Second time he's won that.
2 great starts this week. I don't think he gave up a run.
That's correct. Over 10 1/3 innings. But it's funny. All the prognosticators said, well, okay, the Braves are going to pitch, but they're not going to hit. That was the opening book on how the Braves were scouted coming out of spring training. The exact opposite's been true. This team, I think, has hit better than people thought they would. They've gotten great contributions from Jace Peterson. Cameron Maybin is having the best year, perhaps, of his professional career in the big leagues. He had 15 RBIs last year. He had 17 RBIs in the month of May. Play foul. Jay Brzezinski got off to a flying start. Markakis, as you said, has been incredibly steady in the batter's box. Hitting over 300. Power, but getting his hits, driving in runs. High on base percentage. The Braves bench is remarkably better than last year's relief group. 1 ball, 1 strike. Trumbo didn't get it. It's 1-2.
There have been some surprises, but they've, for the most part, been pleasant surprises. And the lack of power, the lack of home runs, I don't know about you, but I don't sit around worrying about it. That's not one of those things where we say, Well, these guys aren't hitting any homers. You know, they're supposed to. No, we knew from the get-go these guys weren't going to hit a lot of homers.
But when they've gotten them, they've seemed really timely.
Yeah, but it's not something we sit around and fret about that, boy, so-and-so hadn't hit any homers.
Right.
He wasn't supposed to. Neither was this guy and this guy and this guy. But they are supposed to be contact hitters, put the ball in play, and they've done that.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Wood not happy with his last pitch. Let's see what he has in store here. And it's hammered deep to left. Gomes on the run is going to get there shy of the track. Trumbo just missed. Must have gotten that one off the end of the bat.
He was a little bit out in front of it. Looked like his top hand came off the bat a little bit, which indicated he might have been fooled some. Oh boy, change up, and it was off the end of the bat too, Chip. Wasn't able to drive it. Caught a break there.
Aaron Hill bats, runner at first, 2 outs. He fly to center. And that's it. Strike 1. Now, I think we've both said it a couple of times already tonight. The really exciting thing about this team is you don't know what to expect other than effort every night. This team has won games in improbable ways, unbelievable ways. They've lost games the same way too. It's exciting, entertaining, fun, hardworking Major League Baseball team.
I think as fans we should all appreciate what they've done the first 2 months, because they are very much a blue-collar type club.
So hoping the Braves have a good series in Arizona. Hope you'll join us when we get back home for the Pirates and Padres. Out of play, foul. Pittsburgh in town Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The Padres in town for a 4-game series. Monday, June 8th through June 11th. Then we have a brief 5-game road trip.
What?
Yep. Believe it or not.
Those exist?
Yeah. But we have one of those dreaded 2-game trips. Go to New York. We play the Red Sox at Fenway Park. That's always a treat. 0-2 for Aaron Hill. 3-0 Braves. All 3 runs in the 2nd inning. Alex Wood with 2 RBIs. Anderson Simmons with the other. The pitch is in the air to center. Cunningham broke in. Now has to sprint back. And he's there to make the play. And that'll retire the side. 3 more flyouts from Alex Wood, who leads 3-0 after 4.
Generation of D-backs fans. Getting off for Atlanta, shortstop Simmons.
Welcome back to Chase Field here in Phoenix, Arizona. We're in the top of the 5th inning as the Braves lead the Diamondbacks 3-0. And as we continue our conversation about the surprises surrounding the 2015 Atlanta Braves, I talked to Andrelton Simmons earlier today about what the newcomers and the young guys on this team have been able to do so far. He said, you know what, there was no expectations in the beginning of this season for us, but there's been so much promise shown so far. He said, with time, the new guys are only going to gain more experience. He said, along with his teammates, they're very optimistic about doing great things. They certainly have some confidence, and I think they gained some more from the win last night in San Francisco, guys.
I think you're right, Christina, but I also think the level of expectation went up with the addition of people like Gomes and Krasinski and Grilly, Kelly Johnson, where you're not going to be allowed to just show up and play the game. You're going to be expected to show up and do your best to win.
Simmons shoots one toward right. That's going to get down and bounce toward the corner. Andrelton around first. He's on his way to second with a leadoff double. Andrelton Simmons has a 3-for-3 night brewing.
Yeah, we're only in the 5th inning. Target down and away. Pitch had the middle of the plate. Didn't try to pull it. And off to the races. Braves should be able to take advantage of Trumbo in right field. He's not a right fielder by trade. He's first baseman.
He's not going to play first base here.
Nope. I'll cross up there. Saltalamacchia lucky to get a piece of that one.
So they go over their signs with a runner at second base. Third 3-hit game for Andrelton Simmons. 4 hits in a game is his career high. That was set May 8th, 2013. He's got plenty of time to add to his total tonight. Freddie Freeman's pulled the ball twice, both to Goldschmidt.
Let's do it again.
This will be a good time for that. Get Simmons to third with nobody out. He was late. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cubs beat Miami in South Florida tonight, 5-1 Chicago. The Marlins sent Steve Cishek all the way down to Jacksonville to get straightened out. Marlins closer has had a miserable first 2 months. 1-1 pitch. High drive belted toward the swimming pool. Deep right center field. No doubt about it. Freeman goes yard in Phoenix. He pulled it.
That was over the pool and over the Gila River casino section. At ground level, that's around 413 feet to that yellow line out there in deep right center. Down and inner third and gone.
3 homers in the last 4 Braves games. Remember, Freeman went 20 games without a homer. And a mammoth shot to make it 5-0 on 8 Braves hits. Nobody out in the 5th inning. He gives Freeman an 11-game hitting streak against Arizona. As Markakis shoots one toward left. And a nice running grab in the corner by Inciarte for the first out. 4 homers, 14 RBIs in that head-to-head hit streak against the D-backs for the Braves first baseman. And here's Uribe. Keep swinging it, boys. This is a hitter-friendly park. 5-0 Atlanta. Uribe bats.
That's only the 3rd home run allowed by Archie Bradley in 35 innings.
And the first to a left-handed batter.
Yeah, left-handers came in hitting only 161 against him.
One ball, 1 strike. Look out. Thankfully, they've got the net. And scattered the Braves in the first base dugout.
It's a big drop to the bottom of that dugout, too, if you fall off the ledge.
One ball, 2 strikes. And 2-2. That's hit hard towards center. Pollock is going to have a play, and he makes it. And that's the second out. This is a big ballpark, has to be. Ball jumps the dry air. It's 407 feet to straightaway center, 413 to each alley, and you see the big yellow line below the hitter's background. If you hit it to straightaway center, for it to be a home run, it has to go above that yellow line, and that is quite a shot, even in the thin, warm air.
Yeah, that's what makes the areas to straightaway right and left and then to the lines so attractive to hitters, because they're relatively close.
Of course, the swimming pool is one of the main fan features at Chase Field in right center. If memory serves, Mark Grace was the first big league hitter to hit a homer in the swimming pool. He did it with the Cubs.
Mark is back with the ball club as an assistant hitting coach.
Brzezinski walks with 2 out. Another rough outing for Archie Bradley. He's allowed 5 more runs. Nobody up yet in the Arizona bullpen.
It's a little surprising. Maybe Chip Hale feels like he's got to work through some of this.
Bullpen phone might ring now as they are starting to stir in left. Here's Gomes. Johnny's doubled and scored tonight. Downstairs, ball 1.
Bradley gave him a scare last year. He was on the disabled list from late April to late June with some elbow inflammation.
That's Oliver Perez. He's found a home in Phoenix. Met Pirate Mariner is in the Arizona bullpen. 1 ball, 1 strike. Johnny didn't get it. It's 1-2 now. Bounding ball toward third. Hill's got it. He'll throw on the run to first. And that will retire the side. A leadoff double by Anderson Simmons and a long home run by Freddie Freeman. His 8th of the season. And the Braves have broken the game open. It's 5-0 in the 5th inning. celebrating 13 years. Watch every out-of-market game live or on demand in True HD on over 400 mobile and connected devices. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking widgets, and more every night on every device. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. Joe and Chip with you from Phoenix. Braves fans well represented as Atlanta's jumped out to a 5-0 lead behind Alex Wood. He's throwing a 2-hit shutout to this point. More excellent starting pitching for the Braves on the road trip. Ball 2 to Jared Saltalamacchia. Foul away, 2 balls and a strike. T.J. Real Muto was the catcher of the future for the Marlins. As this one's lined over Uribe's glove and into left field. That's headed for the corner. Salty's on his way to second base. He's got a double. And the Diamondbacks are hoping that'll get him going. Hits have been few and far between for the Arizona catcher. And he's in scoring position, the second Diamondback to reach second base tonight.
Got fooled a little bit. In fact, kind of froze there at the plate because he thought Uribe was going to catch that, and almost did.
Chris Owings flying out his first time. Alex Wood has 8 pop-outs or flyouts tonight. There's a strike. It's 0-1. Owings showed bunt. Owings had 5 hits on the just completed road trip for the Diamondbacks. Knocked in 1 run. And Alex Wood is shutting out the top scoring team in the National League in their home park to this point. And he's done it with only 56 pitches. Strike 2.
Chris has got a brother named Connor. Plays college baseball at Coastal Carolina. For the Chanticleers.
Said that so well. 0-2 pitch has popped up out of play. We'll do it again. 0-2.
One of the unique mascots in all of college sports.
Diamondbacks had another guy named Owings who could swing the bat and pitch.
Yeah.
Remember Micah? That big game he had against the Braves. He had a couple homers. As that's off the plate, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, Arizona's got some challenges. There's no mistaking it. They're in a division with the Giants, who've won 3 World Championships in 5 years. They have to hook up with the LA Dodgers and San Diego Padres, both of whom have huge television contracts. 1-2 count. And pulled foul. But they have new leadership in their front office. Tony La Russa is their chief baseball officer. I guess a similar role that John Hart has with the Braves. He knows all about the Hall of Fame manager, Tony La Russa. The White Sox, the A's, and the Cardinals. Dave Stewart, former big league pitcher, is his general manager. And they feel they're going to be really good sooner rather than later. They have a lot of prospects they're very proud of that are knocking at the door. at AA and AAA.
I think they've got the first pick again in the draft, don't they?
They do. Tony had a great quote in the paper, I believe it was today, after he worked 2 years in the Major League Baseball Commissioner's office and then joined the Arizona organization. He said, it's really fun to come to the ballpark and be able to say, well, we did this instead of, well, they did that. Tony's a guy that's emotionally invested in just about everything he does. Now putting his stamp on the Diamondbacks. I mean, he told me 20 years ago, when he's done managing, this is what he wants to do. He'd love to try the challenge of running a major league organization. Well, here he is in the desert. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 8th pitch. And Wood got him with it. Owings can't advance the runner. Alex struck him out. That's his 3rd punch out of the game. 1 away.
I'm not sure what Owings was looking for, but it was a 92 fastball, 4-seamer right on the inside corner. Good pitch to put him away. Might have been his best heater of the night.
Here's the pride of UConn, Nick Ahmed. Braves took him in the 2nd round in 2011. And he got to the big leagues for the first time last year. Ahmed lays down a butt, and look at that thing spin on the grass. That was perfect. A bunt single for Ahmed, and they're at the corners for Yasmani Tomas.
Yeah, normally with the pitcher on deck, that might not be such a good idea. But he knew there was already a pinch hitter in the on-deck circle, so he's just trying to get on base, maybe start a big inning, help start a big inning. And man, oh man, did this thing just bite in the grass. Can't roll it out there any better than that one. Great bunt.
Here's our first look at the Diamondbacks Cuban import, Yasmani Tomas. He's got hits in 12 of his last 13 games. He's called up from AAA on April 15th. This is a big dude.
Listed at 6'2", 255.
And slashed out of play, foul. He has been a defensive work in progress for the Diamondbacks. He's played a lot of third base for them. They've got Jake Lamb coming back from injury. He's due back in about a week. When he comes back, the question is, where will Tomas play? Maybe in the outfield. That's a big body to patrol a big patch of grass here in Chase Field. And he's quickly behind, 0-2. Baseball America tabbed Tomas as the best power hitter. Woods way ahead of it. No balls, 2 strikes. Wasted high. It's 1-2. Tomas hasn't shown a lot of power yet. He has just 1 homer in 122 at bats. Wood would love a ground ball. He's got the ground ball. Back to the mound. Bad throw, but Brzezinski grabbed it. Run down at third. No play. Nobody covered the bag. No throw. What in the world happened there?
Why didn't he give it back to Uribe?
AJ held the ball, and the bases are loaded for Arizona.
He was doing the right thing to run him back, but once Salty started running back to the bag, then Commit did give it to him.
So that's a fielder's choice. Tomas at first, and Wood has some trouble with Inciarte up there. Inciarte's hit the ball on the ground twice. First real threat for the Diamondbacks, and Wood gets ahead with a strike. Inciarte first signed with the Diamondbacks. The Phillies actually took him in the Rule 5 draft and returned him to Arizona. That's one the Phillies wish they could rethink. 0-1. Fly ball center. Cunningham on the run. Slowing now. He'll make the grab. Saltalamacchia is going to tag. The throw's going to come into second, and it's going to be in time. The run will score on a sacrifice fly, but Tomas, trying to tag and go from first to second, is thrown out once again by Andrelton Simmons. Cunningham hit the cutoff man, and the Braves shortstop ends the inning with a strike.
Stuff, low price every day.
Chip, I want to show you a replay, that same replay from behind home plate on that chopper back to Alex. I was surprised he came home. I thought he might try to start a double play at second. Now, he's got a man running at first, and he's pretty fast. But right here, a turn, a spin, throw to second. You see, Tomas is only halfway to first base. Doesn't run well. He might have very well had a chance to start a double play and get out of the inning.
But that decision cost Alex only one run as the sacrifice fly turns into a double play. And it sends the game to the sixth inning, and the Braves face a new pitcher, veteran Oliver Perez, 33 years old now. And now in his second season with the D-backs.
This guy's always had good stuff. Always a little bit, I'll say, emotional, hard on himself, beats himself up a little bit. Sometimes got the better of him. Still in low to mid 90s with a slider. But his numbers, as you saw just a second ago, not very good, at least to this point.
He'll turn Todd Cunningham around as the Braves start the sixth inning. 5-1 game now. And Oliver Perez delivered a strike. Perez, you might recall, broke in with the Padres, then was traded to the Pittsburgh Pirates. Went 12-10 in 30 starts in 2004, and a lot of folks around baseball thought he was going to be the next big thing. With that mid-90s fastball. But in 2005, 7-5, 20 starts. 2006, he went 2-10. Then he was shipped off to the Mets. Had a brief flashback to the glory years. In 2007, he won 15 games. Won 10 games in 2008. And then it's been a struggle ever since. And Todd Cunningham gets hit by a pitch with a 1-2 count.
Some of it has to do, Chip, I would have to think, with the fact that every delivery is different. You know, he's trying to invoke a lot of flair in what he does and always has. Sometimes he'll kick his leg up, his right leg up, and pause and then throw. Sometimes he doesn't. There's nothing repeatable because he doesn't want to repeat.
Alex Wood pushes a bunt, and Perez will apply the tag. Runner at second with one out. Good sacrifice for Alex. He's had a good night at the plate. He's really helped himself. And we'll go back to the top of the order.
Good bunt.
It's another area where the Braves pitching staff is much improved in 2015. So an RBI chance for Jace Peterson. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. Jace has a 4-game hitting streak working, and he showed a bunt. Pitch missed, 1 ball, no strikes. Mets are in San Diego, winning 2-0. That game's in the 5th. Giants 2, Pirates 1 in the 4th. Dodgers 11, Colorado 2. That game's in the 8th inning. Now imagine, Joe, to your point about Perez and his mechanics, that can't be a comfortable at bat for a hitter when you don't know what he's going to do from pitch to pitch.
No, it never has been a comfortable at bat, and that's why.
Runner goes. Saltalamacchia can't make the throw to third. So Cunningham steals a base, his second. And now a fly ball could get that 5th inning run back.
Cunningham was doing a good job of measuring it, and that high leg kick. And on this high leg kick, he timed it perfectly. He also picked a good pitch to run on with the breaking ball. No chance for Salty to throw to third.
Infield comes in for Peterson. 3 balls and a strike.
Different arm angle. A 3-1. He's got to make a good pitch and hope that he expands his strike zone. But that one was a different arm angle.
Slap toward third and a fair ball. Look at Oliver Perez. Jace Peterson on his way to second. The throw gets away. Peterson will hold on. It's a 6-1 game. Perez in disbelief, can't believe that Peterson had that pitch covered. And his 22nd RBI brings home Todd Cunningham.
That was outstanding. Dropped down again. Another breaking ball, left it up, real flat and up. Almost picked off the umpire down at third base, Paul Schreiber. 22 RBIs now for Jason. Good hustle on the double.
9 Atlanta hits. That's scored 6 Braves runs. And Andrelton Simmons is 3 for 3. 4 hits, his career high. Let's see what he can do here against Oliver Perez.
For Oliver Perez, it just seems like it's always been more about flair and not about substance. He wants you to see 3 different pitches, all from different arm angles, and multiply that times 2 different leg kicks. And he doesn't need it. He's got a good arm. He doesn't have to do that stuff. Never did.
Ground ball towards second. Peterson will move to third. That's the second out. And Freddie Freeman is coming up. Mammoth home run for the Braves first baseman last time up. 8 homers, 28 runs batted in. Lefties this year are hitting $192 against Perez. Righties have worn him out, hitting over 400. There's 90 feet away for Atlanta. And he's going to come home on a Freeman hit. Guess who's starting to heat up for the Braves? 7-1, a 3 RBI game for Freeman.
Sidearm fastball raked into right. No reason to freeze and try to figure out how that pitch got hit. Third RBI for Freddie tonight.
Markakis sprays one back toward the Braves radio booth.
Are they okay down there?
Jim's getting back out from under the desk.
Okay. Don didn't even see it.
No. One pitch. Sharply hit. That almost picked off the umpire. Oliver Perez has had a little kerosene to the conflagration. A hit batsman, 2 runs, and now 3 hits.
Isn't this a classic Atlanta inning?
Yeah.
For 2015, started with a hit batsman, get the bunt down, steal third, and all of a sudden it's multiplied into at least a 2-run inning, maybe more.
Boy, the add-on runs make life a lot easier for Alex Wood too, who's got a 6-run lead now. And Uribe's coming up. Two Braves batters have been hit by a pitched ball tonight. Uribe was the first. That was by Archie Bradley, who gave up 5 runs, 8 hits in his 5 innings. And his struggles after the line drive to the face continue. 11.8 ERA since the injury. And plays for a 9-point ERA tonight. 0-2 for Uribe.
I wonder if, there's been that experiment with that funny hat that Torres wears in New York.
The protective one?
Yeah. That halo looking thing.
Yeah.
What if pitchers, if they made look a little protective guard on a helmet for those pitchers that have been struck, to give them, like a Giancarlo Stanton, like his, okay?
Just
a little something there
shield
on there, like for Archie Bradley's sake, just his cheekbone and jaw, where when he follows through, if he turns his head to the left, he's right-handed, then that side of his head is protected, at least until he feels comfortable. I wonder if they could, if a pitcher would be able to do that.
0-2 count. Another look from Perez. Louis Tiant action with that delivery. I don't know.
Well, he's pitching a lot like Louis tonight. Louis, I think, is about 75 years old. What were you going to say?
But I think the complaint that some of the pitchers have had about the Halo device is it's weight, it's bulky. They're not used to it. And you know how quirky pitchers are. Anything that throws them off can alter their mechanics.
Yeah, I know.
It would be a learning process, I guess, to pitch with that. But it makes a lot of sense.
Just a thought.
No balls, 2 strikes. Maybe if you could have something carbon fiber, something very light that could be worn like a skull cap inside the hat that would just lay on top of the hair and then with the hat on top of it.
Well, let's face it. The hitter is the most important thing for him. He's got to be able to see. He's got to be able to see the baseball. Jason Hayward had a solid protective device. Stanton has one that he can see through if he needed to. So for a pitcher, how important is it for him to have to see anything other than target, and once he follows through, at least he's got a little something there for a guy that's already been injured, that he's got a safeguard, I'll say.
Makes perfect sense. No balls, 2 strikes. Good battle with Juan Uribe here. 8th pitch of the at bat, and Juan is dismissed on a strikeout. Oliver Perez had a rough inning. A hit batsman, a double, 2 singles, and 2 more runs. Lots of French fries sitting at the Fridays Front Row Sports Grill in left field here in Phoenix. 7-1 is your score. Let's check out our Toyota play of the game.
How about this on the, including tonight, the road trip, starting pitchers Wood, Miller, Perez, and Fultonevich, a combined 1.40 ERA, 8-28 walks to strikeouts. The only guy that has not joined the party has been Julio Teheran in his 2 starts.
And that 2-seam fastball that Julio's trying to employ, it is not working particularly well, is it?
No.
No balls and a strike for Pollock, who singled and flied out. Big lead for Alex. He's got a 7-1 advantage.
Now, if he were going through, if those were the only 2 starts of the season where he had some struggles, you wouldn't even think twice about it. But he's been so inconsistent. There have bin flashes of Julio Teheran, especially that start against Cincinnati at home comes to mind right away. But all in all, boy, he is scuffled to find his fastball again and his command.
2-1 count. Driven down the right field line. That's trouble if it's fair. It is a foul ball. And Pollock back to the plate with a 2-2 count.
He's become a good player. I know he was a top prospect for them And you mentioned, I think you mentioned that he got hurt, I think, last year too. 6'1", 200-pounder. Last year hit 300, 7 homers.
Strike 3. Wood came back to get him, and Pollock with a look back at fielded Culbreth. He's out number 1.
That same pitch he struck out. Who was it? Owens looking. Same pitch. Good fastball.
Here's Goldschmidt. Goldschmidt's batted with a man aboard 1 time tonight. That was in the very first inning when Pollock singled with 1 out. Goldschmidt struck out in that inning and had a 4th inning single. That one called a strike, even count. Goldschmidt's got to be in the MVP discussion in the National League at this point. 64 hits, 2nd in the league, 3rd in homers, 2nd in RBIs, 2nd in batting average.
I think if he took a vote for MVP through the first 2 months, he might be the guy.
That one dropped in. Strike 2 called. 2-2. That's fouled at the plate. The most frustrating thing, I'm sure, for the Diamondbacks brass, their fans, their players themselves, is their development, their rebuilding program has been set back so much because of those devastating injuries we were talking about. Goldschmidt missed 2 months last year. Pollock was out. As this one's lifted in the air towards center, Cunningham on the run, still going, and on the warning track makes the play. There's out number 2. That doesn't even factor in 2 really good pitchers, Patrick Corbin and Bronson Arroyo.
Yeah.
Both of them are coming back from Tommy John, and both of them are beginning the road back.
Corbin was a 14-game winner last year for him.
Corbin pitched was supposed to pitch in an extended spring training game today. Bronson Arroyo is supposed to pitch a bullpen here on Friday for the Diamondbacks. But you get all those pieces together for Arizona, they really don't know what their team is. They haven't been together very long the last couple of seasons because they've been so banged up. This one's lifted to right by Trumbo. Can of corn for Nick Markakis. He is in fair ground by a good margin, and that takes care of the Diamondbacks. 3 up, 3 down in the 6th. We head to the 7th. All Braves in game 1. Something the rest of the league has had a lot of trouble doing. Let's see if we can get the AT&T Universe trivia question. Since the start of 2013, he's second among current National League players with 217 runs scored. Who's first?
Can I get back to you?
Sure.
You got a thought?
I'm going to stick with McCutchen. I think Andrew McCutchen's.
I think that's a great pick
for the Pirates. I'll let you think about it through the A.J. Brzezinski at bat.
Okay.
Got a lot of pressure.
Yeah, it is.
Especially with Perez's weird mechanics. It's a lot of stuff to analyze there.
Well, he had a great year for him last year. He had an ERA in the 2s. So maybe it's just a rough start for him. Rough start of the season.
Already 30 pitches for him. He allowed 2 runs last inning. A.J. Brzezinski greets him and bounces one to first. He flips the bat away in anger. Perez to the bag. There's the first out.
Okay, I got to come up with somebody, don't I? All right, I'm going to say I don't know.
We'll wait through the Gomes at bat. We're giving fans at home a lot of chances.
Well, you're giving me a lot of chances.
Yeah. You're my pal. Gomes has doubled and scored. He's 1 for 3.
Just hate to give up, you know. Got to keep grinding.
There's a ball to Johnny Gomes. I told you earlier, Johnny's been busy on the trip. This is his 5th start. Out west.
Okay, I got it.
Got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got my guess. I don't know if I got it.
All right. Let's wait till Gomes finishes his at bat.
Okay.
So Goldschmidt scored the 2nd most runs last couple of years. He's been hurt. That's pretty impressive. 2-0 pitch. Gomes skies one a mile high to center. And Pollock camps out. He's got it. And Gomes is retired for out number 2. All right, AT&T. Who's first in runs scored since the start of 2013? I say Andrew McCutchen. You say
Mike Trout.
National League.
See, I didn't read it. I was in a hurry trying to find my guy.
It's been a long trip, hasn't it?
It's a good thing they'll put a graphic up on me.
What's your name?
Yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh.
I think Pollock had you thinking about fish or something after the game.
Could have been.
Pollock, you said Trout. Thank goodness Catfish Hunter's not here to pitch. Real trouble. 1 ball, 1 strike for Todd Cunningham. Seven runs on 11 hits. And if you're just joining us, Todd Cunningham in the starting lineup for Cameron Maybin. Little quad groin issue for the Braves center fielder. It's not considered to be serious. Christina Fitzpatrick reported on that during Braves Live. The Braves and Freddie Gonzalez is thinking, give him a day. Hopefully it'll calm down. Maybe he'd be good to go tomorrow in the middle game of the series.
Todd Cunningham has an 0 for 17 working after that hot start he got off to down in Miami. Hits have been hard to come by, but tonight intentional walk, been hit twice and he scored twice. So a good contribution from him even without a hit. Stole a base too, forgot about that.
He's played great in center. Big yard here in Phoenix. And now a 2-2 pitch with 2 outs. We're in the 7th. Lucky 7 for the Braves in the run column. There's strike 3, and Perez has a clean inning. 7th inning stretch. Braves looking good tonight, trying to get above 500. They've got a 6-run lead. continued that trend. He's allowed only 1 run, and he's earned our SunTrust Save of the Game honors.
Good stuff all night long. He's kept the ball down. He's had a good breaking ball. He's used a good fastball in the inside corner a couple of times there for strikeouts, and he's helped himself. Big bases loaded single in the 2nd inning, plated 2 runs. He's also put down a sacrifice bunt, so a good all-around game for Alex Wood. No walks, 4 strikeouts. No ill effects from that flu bug.
No. And Aaron Hill will be the man that greets him first after the 7th inning stretch. Crowd tonight, 18,258. And a strike for the Diamondbacks third baseman, Aaron Hill. I say this so often when opposing pitchers have a good game going. The same is true for Alex. There's nothing the Diamondback hitters can eliminate from his arsenal right now.
Especially the right-handers can't give up on that breaking ball, that backdoor pitch. He's worked inside enough to keep him honest, keep him off the plate. Real good night.
Alex gunning for his 4th win tonight. He's ahead 7-1. And ahead of Aaron Hill, no balls, 2 strikes. Little flare into shallow center. Cunningham diving, try. Did he get it? He did.
That away, kid. Get a chance to play center field tonight, and he's put on a show. Great jump. There are many who would say that before Cameron Maben was picked up by the Braves that Cunningham was the best outfielder in the organization defensively.
He showed you why that sentiment existed with really a tough play. You've said a million times that's one of the toughest plays a center fielder has to make.
That one hit right at you.
So Wood has the first out. Here's Saltalamacchia. He doubled and scored the lone Arizona run. Braves messed up a rundown play in the 5th. Then Arizona ran themselves into a double play on a sacrifice fly. That's why they only scored 1 run with the bases loaded in the 5th inning. And just 4 hits tonight to the D-backs. And top scoring team in the league. To right, Markakis. 2 out. How dominant has Alex Wood been? He's had 1 3-ball count. They're 6 2/3 now. 1.
That's awesome. Against a good hitting ball club to stay ahead in the count. Kind of work your magic on them, making them a little more defensive.
Here's Chris Owings. 0 for 2 with a strikeout. 0-1. That's down the right field line, and that'll kiss the chalk. That's fair ball. And the fan interferes with the ball, and that'll be a double for Owings. And that fan's asking for the baseball. He'll get it, and he might also be asked to leave the premises.
It'd be hard to identify since that security guard was right there.
This would be a challenge for the Diamondbacks. They tout themselves as the most fan-friendly.
Wasn't him, it was the guy in the blue cap.
Organization, you're right. Let's see if the guy in the blue cap is escorted out. yet. Nick Ahmed. And the ball outside. 1 ball, no strikes.
Is that the catcher from the Sandlot? That...
Sure looks like him, doesn't it? 1-0 pitch. Popped him up. Straightaway center. Pretty well hit, but Ahmed's going to be retired. Todd Cunningham, a fine defensive inning. And we move to the 8th inning. Atlanta and Alex Wood dominant in the desert. Airlines Tuesday, June 9th, when the Padres are in town. You'll get a chance to meet David before the game if you go to Braves.com/4game and if you buy a David Justice 4-game plan. So meet and greet with a 4-game plan. The offer's only available through Friday. Go to Braves.com/4game today. Alex Wood will lead off for the Braves in the 8th. 7-1 and a strike. Last year, the Braves split the season series with the Diamondbacks, 3 wins, 3 losses. They dropped 2 out of 3 here at Chase Field. After a great start tonight.
Yeah, the 2 losses, though, were both 1-run losses, and one of those was in extra innings. And the game they won here was a close game, 5-3.
Off Saltalamakia's glove and back to the screen.
This is one of those at-bats that I used to hear Don Sutton talk about. You're pitching a great ball game. You got a nice lead. Just stand there. You know, don't overdo it trying to run the bases and all that. And if you punch out, okay, go sit down. Let the other guys go back to work. And I like that. I mean, you're not trying to make an out, but you're not trying to run the bases either.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And he did just stand there on a breaking ball.
Yeah.
More important that he gets his rest on the bench with a big lead.
He's ahead 7-1. He doesn't need to be running the bases.
Right.
And I don't know how much he's got left in the tank. He hasn't had to really exert himself a whole lot tonight. He should be in pretty good shape, but he's got a chance to pitch a complete game.
Jace Peterson, the batter. He's walked, doubled, scored, and knocked in a run. Missed the inside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. LA just won. They finished off the Rockies 11-4. That game at Coors Field. One and 2. And the other scores. It was Clayton Kershaw pitching against Kyle Kendrick tonight. LA with 18 hits. Jock Peterson, Andre Ethier, Jimmy Rollins, and Howie Kendrick hit homers for Los Angeles.
Goodness.
And Nolan Arenado hit his 13th for the Rockies. Well, he's a good player. Nolan Arenado's had some defensive highlights already in the first 2 months. In the air to left, Inciarte's got plenty of room. He's got it, 2 out. And Perez has now set down the last 6 in a row. Here's Andrelton Simmons still looking for that 4th hit, that would match a career high. He singled in the first, RBI single in the second, doubled and scored ahead of Freddie Freeman's 5th inning homer. And that's rolled out of play. Strike 1. Alex Wood will have a pinch hitter, Inciarte and Pollock, 9-1-2 on the Diamondbacks lineup card. That's when we hit the bottom of the 8th. Out of play. 0-2. And a swing and a miss. Simmons down to a knee as Oliver Perez finishes with a flourish. He retired the final 7. It's called a churro dog.
That guy's only got an inning and a half left. He's going to have to get after this.
He's got no shot. We got to get one of those.
Ooh. What's this? We. You and what other 5 people going to eat that?
We're told that that churro dog, it's not a hot dog. It's a donut cut in half with a churro, frozen yogurt, and whipped cream.
So it's dessert.
Insulin is an option. Holy smokes. No balls, 2 strikes. I think they also have in Arizona, don't they have the 2-foot long hot dog here? Is that here in Phoenix? Yeah, they've got like a gigantic ballpark hot dog that feed your elementary school. Might have to try one of those too. We only get out of here once, man. We gotta live. As Jordan Pacheco
may stay here.
Yeah. I need to bring in a bigger plane. Yeah, the churro dog. Calories 1,117. That's an estimate.
He can't even figure out how to eat it.
And the D-Bat dog.
Now, how much is that thing?
That,
I mean, yours for a mere
$8.50. Now, here we go.
He's nodding. Okay.
If he shakes hands with somebody, you're going to have to walk out stuck together. Now, the D-Bat dog is not dessert. It's an 18-inch corn dog wrapped in 6 slices of bacon and filled with melted cheese, battered and deep fried. With a pound of fries, as that one's ripped into center field by Pacheco, a pinch hit. With a pound of fries, Joe, that one rounds out to a mere 3,000 calories, and it's $25.
25.
Yeah.
We'll bring your paycheck. You can get a beer with it.
Yeah, right. And I think that guy's got a health meter on his right hand.
Yeah.
Hope it doesn't measure blood sugar. Thing's going to short circuit. So the churro dog. First look at that here in Phoenix. Leadoff single sends it to the top of the order, and Inciarte. And a ground ball right side. That's through. The Braves bullpen is going to start to work as Arizona has back-to-back hits. And that's the first time in the game that's happened. Now again, it's a 7-1 game, and you know who is lurking for the D-backs. Goldschmidt's on deck.
Stayed with the fastball, and he got it. Okay. Still get a ground ball here and avoid too much damage. Get a double play ball.
Kniff is the first man up and throwing. See the pitch count for Alex, 103 pitches. There have not been many high stress pitches for him tonight. Let's see if he can get Pollock to hit the ball on the ground. Pollock has singled, fly to left, and he has struck out. Next pitch Alex throws will be a new season high for him. Pollock came into the game hitting .390 against left-handed pitchers. Way high, ball one. In the air, foul, out of play. So Wood's got a new season high in pitches. The next out he gets will be a new season high in innings pitched. Alex has gone 7 innings twice, and 3 times tonight, and 3 games in a row.
You see there, as you said, 1 inning where he was as high as 19 pitches.
Pollock chased, didn't get it. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, got a little help there.
Goldschmidt lurking. Trumbo will follow. We're in the home 8th.
He's done a good job staying with the fastball. That one's still at 91. Maybe a backdoor breaking ball that he bounces over to Freeman. Starts a double play, and they have a runner at 3rd and 2 out for Goldschmidt. Tried it, but overthrew it.
So it's a 3-2 count. Pacheco at second and Ciarte at first. 2 on, nobody out. And the payoff pitch grounded toward Uribe. He's going to step on the bag at third, throw across to first, and get his man. Double play, 2 outs.
Heads up play by Uribe, and you've got to have a good arm, which he does, to be able to make this type of throw flat-footed. He catches it, runs to the bag, but now plants and throws across the diamond, shoulder high to Freddie. That's a strong arm to be able to do that and get a fast runner.
That's something else we've been told about Uribe. Virtually every throw is right on the money, like Vinny Castilla.
Right.
So Goldschmidt with a man aboard, 2 outs. He's 1 for 3 with a strikeout. And high, ball 1. Arizona has an enviable stretch working into tonight's game. They've hit a homer in 9 straight games. They have not had a deep fly tonight. And Ciarte at second with 2 outs. Strike outside corner. Line to center. Cunningham is there. What a job by Alex Wood tonight. A season high pitches, a season high in innings pitched, and he leads 7-1 as we go to the 9th.
Braves lead the Diamondbacks 7-1 at the top of the 9th. We take a look at our T-Mobile game changer numbers. Freddie Freeman was hoping something from those 2 home runs in San Francisco carried over to this game, and they sure did today in the 5th inning. His last 4 games, he has 3 home runs, 6 RBIs compared to his previous 36 games, 1 home run, 15 RBIs. And Freddie told me today his struggles at the plate have been a work in progress. He's really tried to take something from each at-bat and each swing, and it looks like it's working from game to game, and he's working through it, guys.
And It's a joy to see, because we've said so many times, Christina, as Freddie Freeman goes offensively, for the most part, so goes this Braves team. And he'll square off with former Brave Randall Delgado, who's found a home in the Arizona bullpen.
2-2 on the year. Pretty good ERA. Randall always had a good fastball, and there's 94 to bear that out. He was always in that area, and there weren't too many knocks on him, but if there was one, it was that his fastball was very straight. Along the way, they've incorporated a two-seamer to get some action going on his fastball. Everything was hard. Hard slider, hard fastball.
Two balls, two strikes.
There was a time where he and Tehran were neck and neck, you know, to who's going to make the club, who might make the club. In one year he did, Delgado did, and Tehran didn't.
And that one flipped down the left field line foul. That would have been sweet.
And I believe that was the season that Julio went back to AAA, not expecting to go back to AAA. Delgado made the club, and Tehran had an awful year.
Two balls, two strikes. And Freeman hits it the other way. That is beautiful. A three-hit game for Freddie Freeman. Somebody's about to pay. And the Diamondbacks are tonight. 3 hits, a homer, 3 RBIs. And a good start to the Atlanta ninth. Mike Harkey on your right is the Arizona pitching coach. It's been a rough night for his staff. Archie Bradley gave up 5 in 5 innings. Oliver Perez 2 in his 3 innings, and Delgado in trouble. Ball 1.
Nick snapped out of a mini 0 for 8 with a base hit his first time up tonight. He had been just 5 for 26 on the road trip. So a good game for him too, to get back closer to 300. It dipped below 300 just a little bit for the first time in a while.
Braves have 12 hits tonight. They've earned 4 walks. They've had 2 hit batsmen. In fact, every Brave who started, including Alex Wood, has reached base in this game. The Diamondbacks have a total of 3 1-2-3 clean innings. Faced the minimum in the first as a result of double play. Pop fly out of play. And the count full to Nick. Eight strong innings for Alex Wood. A run on 7 hits. The season high in pitches. One would guess the Braves would go to the pen. We'll see. Play to the left.
I don't know. He's still in the dugout. I know that there's still action down there. Or maybe he'll get a chance to go out and start the inning.
3-2. Bouncing ball under the glove of Goldschmidt that time. And Freeman's on his way to third base. Markakis is going to have a 2-base hit. Goldschmidt's made that play a couple of times tonight. Couldn't handle that hot shot, though.
So fastball inner third, hit hard, and it's the first error of the year on Goldschmidt.
I was hoping they'd give Markakis a hit. No such luck for Nick. It's an error. And the Braves in business with runners at second and third, and Eric Young Jr. is going to check in and pinch run for Nick Markakis. So Nick reaches base 3 times, 2 singles and a 2-base error, and Juan Uribe looks for a little more. And that's off the plate. Ball 1. 2 errors for Arizona, and they were second in the league with only 21 committed coming into play tonight. As I said earlier, I think this is a Diamondback team, and taking nothing away from what the Braves have done, I think this is a Diamondback team that's a little baseball weary right now after a long day yesterday and the trip back home. 17-inning game. They lost in Milwaukee. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Guarantee you Chip Hale rather, is going to not make any excuses for his ball club. Everybody in baseball goes through games like that and then have to deal with travel.
There's Mark Grace. We talked about him earlier tonight. Assistant hitting coach for Arizona. And one of the biggest hits in the history of the Diamondbacks. If I'm not mistaken, he had the leadoff single against Mariano Rivera that led to the World Series winning run against the Yankees. What do you think he got? Cutter. And he broke his bat and hit it up the middle for Arizona. 3 balls and a strike. Deep short. Ball dropped. A run is in. Uribe's aboard. That's an infield hit for Uribe. And he'll get an RBI. His 5th as a Brave. That brings home Freddie Freeman, and Delgado has yet to retire a hitter. So every Diamondback pitcher has surrendered at least 1 run tonight.
Change up, kind of rolled over the top of it, but it was up in the zone, gave him a chance to get to it. I don't think Ahmed was going to be able to throw him out at first base anyway.
Arizona's bullpen is working. They had Josh Colmenter up and throwing. He may have just been playing catch to get ready for the start tomorrow. But it's Cliff Pennington, an infielder. And that goes back to the 17-inning game yesterday. Their bullpen may be cooked. Delgado can't get out of this jam. They may have to use a position player.
That was the sign. Change up. He's got a change up he wants to feature. And if there was a chance that Alex Wood was going to go back out, the length of this inning will probably eliminate that opportunity.
Diamondbacks bullpen pitched 12 innings yesterday. As you mentioned, though, 5 1/3 were thrown by Vidal Nuno. Gave up the game-ending run, but he pitched remarkably well in terrible circumstances for Arizona. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Przinsky. AJ swings and misses, and he's the first out of the inning. One man out. Fans see the home of the Braves in a whole new way. Take a behind-the-scenes tour of the Braves press box, broadcast booth, clubhouse, and dugout. Tours are offered all year long, and they begin in the Braves Museum and Hall of Fame. For more information, call 404-614-2311.
Carol and Sarah and her group do a great job in the museum. You need to go by and check it out.
Here's Johnny Gomes. And he takes the ball high. Three runs in the second was all Alex Wood needed tonight. Braves added 2 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th, 1 so far here in the 9th. Braves with 13 hits. High strike, even count. Another good pitch. 1-2.
Like his hard slider there.
And another one gets Johnny Gomes. So back-to-back strikeouts for Delgado. And Todd Cunningham will be the next hitter.
That's 26 innings total for him, 23 strikeouts. But he's also given up 29 hits.
Todd Cunningham's without a hit, but he's had a marvelous game defensively. He's reached base twice and he scored 2 runs. If he reaches, Pedro Siriaco would be the next hitter. Swing and a miss.
Good changeup. Well, the Yankees lit up the Mariners and Felix Hernandez tonight. It's now a 7-2 game, but Hernandez 4 2/3, 6 hits, 7 runs, 5 walks.
Yeah, that's not like him. Seattle's been a disappointing club. They were a sexy pick to win the West. They're 6.5 games behind the first place Astros, who are 4 games ahead of the Angels. In the AL West, the 1-2 pitch is out of play, foul. Texas has Josh Hamilton back. They've won 3 games in a row and they're over 500. Prince Fielder is reborn. He's healthy. He's scoring a ton of runs, hitting everything in sight. Texas lost Adrian Beltre for a couple of weeks, hurt his thumb. That's a big blow for the Rangers.
Yeah, it was on a slide at second, I believe.
1-2 pitch. He is high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Minnesota, Kansas City, and Detroit separated by 3.5 games in the AL Central. Paul Molitor might be the manager of the year in the AL if the vote were taken today. Yankees and Tampa Bay tied in the AL East, 2 games ahead of Baltimore, 3.5 in front of Toronto. Boston 4 back. And a little dribbler to the right side. Delgado catches it and wins the race to the bag. So nice recovery from the former Brave Randall Delgado. He does allow another Atlanta run. It's 8-1 and the Braves will go to the pen for the final 3 outs. Tickets are only $20 with $10 of added value included, and you'll get to sit in the new college section. It's pretty cool. Students also get to run the bases after the game. You heard that right. College kids can run the bases after every Thursday home game beginning June 18th. Space is limited. Go to braves.com/college now. Former Diamondback Trevor Cahill is into the game in the 9th inning. He's got a 7-run lead.
Those numbers are crooked, I know, but as a reliever, he's pitched better. There have been a couple of blow-ups out of the pen, too. But Tampa Bay, Milwaukee, 3 innings, 2 different outings. 3 innings, no hits or runs or walks. And then against Milwaukee at the end of that homestand, an inning and a third, and he gave up 3 runs. Had another outing at Los Angeles. Nothing. Therein lies part of what we discussed earlier. Not knowing exactly where to go in the bullpen when you need somebody to count on him from a consistent standpoint. So Eric Young is in left. He stayed in the game. Johnny Gomes moves to right.
Strike 3 to Trumbo. Cahill, is pumped up to pitch against his former team, a team with whom he went 3-12 last year.
Well, one thing they're going to notice is a different arm angle. More 3/4, better movement. That ball came back. Trumbo didn't like the call.
Yeah, that's something Cahill was trying to work on this spring, more of an over-the-top delivery, and took away all that movement you were just talking about. So maybe that's going to be the secret for a resurgence for Trevor Cahill. Driven toward right center field. Cunningham on the run, still going, and look at him track that baby down.
Tell you what, he can go get him. Slicing away from him. And on the run, made it look easy.
So Jared Saltalamacchia, the final hope for Arizona. He's the lone man to touch the plate tonight. That was in the 5th. Alex Wood, a season high 113 pitches, went 8 innings, 7 hits, 1 run, no walks.
Tell you, Trevor's bringing it too. He's fired a couple of 94s.
To first. Freeman's got it. He'll take it to the bag, and the Braves are over 500. Atlanta came to the desert and smoked the Snakes. 8-1 is your final score. The Braves pick up a half game in the divisional race as well.